现在是4比3，飞龙在天。
哎，算了，恭喜他夺冠吧。
一把，我靠！
打不过啊，他最后这手感染虫太凶了。最近半年 ZVP 56-3，给自己点一个赞，冠军。
I don't think Cyril has any chance to save this one, but he continues.
It gets killed coming back, and Bunny just doesn't seem to have the numbers.
Didn't even notice the Liberator in the main base, I think. So many probes are going down right now.
Oh my god, they're trying to get back, but they can't, and so many are picked up. A big clump here from Curie. Tries to split everything up.
Giant force of Fadelings rolling in and clearing the hell. That's massive. Clum!
Maru is once again.
Has done it.
Cyril did it all, and he is a well-deserving champion.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week, another group of the Coliseum 8 group stage, Group C, day number 1. Of course, your site VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to the continuation of the group stage. Here we go. Over the course of the past couple of weeks, we've been covering and going over all the groups, Group A, Group B, and now we're here with Group C. Oh boy, here we go. We have 4 amazing players. We have Maru, we have Lancer, we have Hero, and we have Gumiho. 2 Terrans, 2 Protoss, 4 players in total, but only 2 will advance on. Only 2 will advance on here to the next round, to the next stage, and the question becomes, who exactly will make it through? We are here to find out. Let's go. Up first, we have our TvP, Maru versus Lancer. The TvP is upon us, vetoes are done, and our players are getting ready as we speak. Coming into this, though, what I will emphasize is that Maru, he is, of course, in top form, and Lancer is the underdog. He's the underdog of the group. There is still a little variation. There's still a lot of possibilities when it comes to the group itself. Gumiho, Maru, and Hero, they are very, very much so heavy hitters. Lancer is coming in as a dark horse. Can he cause some upsets? I want to believe he can, but taking best of 3 here is going to be a tough asking. Here we go. We're jumping into game 1 in the top left-hand corner. We have Maru. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Okay. At the top left we have Lancer. In the bottom right we have Maru. They'll figure it out. But here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is time to get your gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Will go the way of Maru, will go the way of Lancer. Best of luck in the chat. Again, coming into this, Maru is going to be the heavy favorite, but we have seen Lancer take maps before. We have seen him cause upsets in the past, especially the WTL format. But what about the more standard 1v1 format instead? Oh boy, the pressure is on. Pressure's on. Lancer looks like he's from the Yakuza game. Oh, what do you mean by that, though? Yo. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, Bappy, the Yakuza games, they're known for being a little bit wild themselves. Like I've yet to indulge in too many Yakuza games, though. I feel like I should. I feel like I'm missing out on some culture, on some proper memes, but regardless, let's go. The picture, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But here we go. For the time being, we do have our sponsors. Big shout out to Doyu and SCBoy for sponsoring and for making this event a reality. Much love. Much love to all the sponsors. Zero is the best. I think I actually own Yakuza 0. I'll be honest. I think I got it like on a humble bundle or something a long time ago. One day. One day we'll get together, we'll play some karaoke, we'll have a dance off in the club, and then we'll run around without pants on. It's gonna be amazing. Until then, though. Until then, we're going to be settling into our PvT. For the time being, we do have a more tech-heavy opener out of Maru. Double gas into a faster factory, into a delayed CC, so a very tech-heavy, or much more tech-heavy start here out of Maru. Meanwhile, Lancer across the map, going for his tech of choice, going to be going for a Stargate opener. Bearing in mind as well, welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. Abyssal Reef is one of the largest maps in the map. Ooh, that's a kill on the probe. Oh, that should not have quite happened so early on, but the probe does go down. Abyssal Reef is known for its long game macro play, I should emphasize as well. Very easy to defend on 2, 3, 4, 5 bases here. A very secure setup here on 5 bases is going to be available to our players. This is why Lancer is going for a Stargate opener. Stargate play is designed to get you into the mid game in a good position, to gain map control, to contain the opponent, harass, of course, deny drop play, and get into Phoenix Colossus. I'm assuming it's going to be Phoenix Colossus. This could be Phoenix into Charge Lots, could be Phoenix into Storm. Technically, there are possibilities here for Lancer. For the time being, though, he is going to be settling into his first wave of Phoenixes. Phoenixes are on the way. Maru back at home, chilling, working towards his drop. As a reminder, remember, it was a faster factory into a faster starport into a faster drop play, and Medevacs should soon be moving out across the map to scout and to get some economic damage. So Maru soon to move out, for the time being establishing his own natural. Back at home, extra gateways on the way for Lancer. So far so good, we're settling in. Not gonna lie, I got Yakuza 0 in a humble bundle, I installed it, and then I accidentally played it for 80. I've only taken a couple of steps there. See, I got it in the humble bundle, I haven't played it yet. But I'm sure once I do, I won't stop. And then I'll be questioning my life choices, I'm sure. But now, though, Adept does shade into the main, gets a full scout as well, does get eyes on the researching tech lab. Very nice scout here by Lancer. Does only get 1 SCV, didn't really get too much damage, but did get plenty of scouting information. Meanwhile, here comes a drop play from Maru, and the Medevacs is going to be shut down. Nice lift here on the Widow Mines as well. Very nice cleanup. The Widow Mines go down, no economic damage. Likewise, Medevac as well. Lancer will completely shut down the drop play. Let's go. So nice cleanup here out of Lancer. Does shut it down. And we'll see how Maru responds from here. How he does build back up. For now, he's getting into tank production, marine production as well. Working eventually towards stim. But Maru should be contained. He should be contained on 2 bases. Interesting. Getting into Viking production now. Just as much anti-air as possible. As Maru should be stuck at home. And in doing so, Lancer can now tech. He's getting a 3rd base, and we should soon be seeing some splash damage or charge. Like one or the other. There it is. There's the bait. Straight up standard old school Phoenix into Colossus. So Colossus production is on the horizon here for Lancer. Looking quite comfortable against Maru, not gonna lie. As he does dip in, gets a couple of SCVs. I say a couple 5 SCVs go down. Again, these Marines do not have stim, so they can try to chase down some of these Phoenixes. Alas, they don't really get much damage done on them. So far, so good. So far, so good. Hello, chat. Hello, papi. Hello. ¿Qué tal? Bienvenidos. Buenos días. As Maru is still contained on 2 bases, eventually he will break out, and eventually he will have his upgrades. But last, he's still going to be contained. And we'll see if Maru goes for a 2-base all-in. I mean, on a map like Abyssal Reef, we shouldn't really be seeing 2-base play. We should be seeing Maru just eventually break out and take a 3rd and just macro from here and get into the mid-game. At least that's what Lance is hoping, right? Lance is hoping that Maru is going to be a little bit more passive here in the mid-game and more defensive. Meanwhile, Maru getting ready for his move-outs. Is going to be pushing across the map. So far, quite committed. Does pull a couple of boys. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. 3 tanks. Mass Marine. Vikings is zone away. Combat Shields is done. Stim is not. Bear that in mind. Stim is not going to be available initially here for the first push. And it's going to be a Lancer to slow this down. Gets 1 Marine. Falls back to the Colossi. Lancer trying to hold his own. Shaves off a couple of Marines. But only the Marines. The tanks, they hold their own. Bunker production has begun. Maru slowly pushing towards that mineral line, bearing in mind that I believe you can get within range of the mineral line as well from the low ground. Oh, Colossus takes a lot of hits. A lot of damage dealt to the Colossi. Phoenix is trying to catch reinforcements, but there's only 3 Phoenixes. Colossus took a lot of damage. You can see there, the tank is within range of the mineral line. Probes are going down. Again, this is the brutal thing about Abyssal Reef, is just how close that cliff face is. The abyss, if you will. The other side of the ravine, yeah. As tank volleys go up, Lancer does catch a couple of Marines at least as they try to reinforce. Gets a tank as well. Very nice damage. But the Vikings, they land, they get into the middle line, more probe kills. Gateway goes down as well. We can see Lancer trying to get into some immortal production. He is on 3-base saturation. Bear that in mind. He does have a decent economy behind this. But Maru, he's not done. Dropping in once again. Getting up to 9 probe kills. Denying any kind of mining at the natural. And the base itself may just go down. And the Nexus taking a lot of damage. And the Nexus does fall. Massive pickup. And from here, Maru could either try to keep pushing up the ramp or just rotate. Could just rotate at this point. We can see Lancer expanding here towards the center of the map as well. He's going to try to break out. Stalkers, they do collapse in. Zealots from behind as well. Yeah, the Vikings not quite in position. They take down the Colossus. Bunkers, they do hold the line a little bit longer here. Zealots are going down. Liberator going ham here on those Immortals. Oh my god, the lid! The lid pops off. Gets one Immortal. And Maru, he is still maintaining this position. He's pushing forward. And he's going for the kill. I can't believe that Maru was able to survive that flank, that almost around. Takes down all the Zealots, takes down the Stalkers as well. Nice on siege. Can just fight toe-to-toe with the army. And finally, Maru has to back up, but he did trade very well against this army. Reset the Stalker count, the Immortal count, the Colossus count, the Phoenixes. Only a Gateway army remains for Lancer. Now, thankfully, Lancer did expand and did take that forward, that forward Nexus, I should say. Even double expanding. But tech-wise in the army is still lacking for Lancer. And Maru behind this can just build back up. Now, when it comes to Maru, because we're not in game, I'm actually not entirely certain if he has a third TC. I don't think he does. So he might just be completely 2-base all in, and still 2-base all in. Scans ahead of time, does spot the expansion. Just caught me off guard. We will fix the bracket command, my apologies. The only thing Maru did not reset was the Super Famicom. I see what you did there. Aye. No. He can't start the game. He needs to reset. God damn it. Beautiful. You know what game I played on the SNES back in the day? Yo, the Moss game. That was it. the movie tie-in game of the Jim Carrey Mask movie. Let's go. As the army does commit, and we get no mining here at the center base. I honestly don't remember much about it. It was like a platformer. But yeah. Back when games were good. Copium. True, games that were only good back in the SNES era. Aye. Copium. As Maru takes down the center expansion, does rotate. Once again, I will get on top of that bracket command. My apologies. For now, I'll just link you in the chat. Meanwhile, Lancer building back up. He's got 1, now 2 Colossi. Not bad. He's built back up. By the way, Maru is still 2-base all in this entire time. Crazy. Entire time has been 2-base all in. Pushing in. Zealots coming from behind. They run into the liberation zones. As Zealots are going down, the tank barely survives. And if Lancer can just buy a little bit more time here, he might be able to hold on. Liberator's moving forward. Once again, getting on top of the Bio Army. Colossus just going ham on the Marines. Nice pick up here out of Maru. Ooh, takes down the Colossi with the Liberators. And the Colossi go down. The Marines, they can drop back in once again. But Lancer, he's holding on. Cleans up the Liberator, gets the tanks. Lancer holds. And again, Lancer is on a 3-base economy. Kind of a CP 3-base economy. Doesn't even take down the Liberators and is having a hard time doing so. Oh my god. Leading out more probes. Lancer barely survives. And Maru, there it is, finally has expanded. He's like, fine, you don't want to die, let me just take a 3rd base. I'll take a 3rd. I don't want to, but I will. Doesn't like it, Papi. Forced to expand. Yo, and you know what I find refreshing, and you would know this if you were here earlier today. If you were here for the Elite League cast, I'm just happy to see a 3rd. Spoilers, but do check out the Elite League broadcast from this morning. Elite League, the December finals. I do recommend it. Was a lot of fun. Some chaotic games, some back and forth, of course. And it was an intense finals. Intense best of 7 is what I will say between a Terran and a Protoss. And I do recommend it. And again, I appreciate that we get to see a third base getting saturated. It's a rare sight. it's a very rare sight. Oh no. As Liberator does go down, Lancer stabilizing on 3 bases, still has yet to fully saturate. Meanwhile, Maru now gets a 3rd and now taking a 4th base. Oh my, he's getting a 4th. He's crazy. Unheard of. But again, he did fail to finish off Lancer. Lancer was able to hold on, able to somewhat try to stabilize. Again, I am concerned just because every single fight, Lancer, he lost all the Immortals, lost all the Colossus. Like, Lancer still has a lot of rebuilding to do. Meanwhile, Maru, I mean, he had a pretty expendable army. Rebuilding the bio, getting back into tank, and now Ghost production is going to be quite comfortable here for Maru, as you can see him take a lead in supply. Is going to be skyrocketing ahead, and now suddenly this army is that much higher quality. He's got EMPs. He has those EMPs available. He's got 1-1 upgrades. Working towards the army, towards 2-2. Massive EMP on the Stalkers. Maru going to be committing, going to be pushing in. Tank Boy is going to be going up. Massive tank shots here on the main army. Oh my god. The Stalkers go down, the Immortal as well. The Colossus do survive, but really just barely the Colossi. Really not anything else. Once again getting within range of the Natural. Once again the Natural under fire. As here we go, he does just commit up the ramp. Massive EMP is going off. He gets 1. He almost gets the second Colossus as well. Zeltay coming from behind. Once again, I'm loving the surrounds that Lance has been going for time and time again. Time and time again has been going for it, but alas, this time the tanks do survive. Oh, and the army does crumble. GG gets called, and Maru, he finally breaks Lancer. GG. GG, well played. Again, Lancer, he did refuse to go down for quite some time, but it's one of those things where throughout that entire game, it was Lancer surviving, but not really thriving in that kind of game state. He was really struggling to gain any map control, any momentum himself. He was just stuck defending the entire time. Did have some very nice engagements, especially when it came just to the surrounds with those Zealots. Time and time again, he would come in from behind, he would catch Maru out of position, and he was able to hold on. But again, never able to take a lead himself and never able to really be active on the map and try to put Maru on the back foot. Just was not the case there. In the end, Maru did eventually overwhelm, and with that, we're getting into game number 2. Also, I believe the commands in the chat should now be updated. Exclamation mark B. There we go. Should now be updated, so we got you. We got you. Do apologize, didn't quite update it before the stream went live. It's a macro game. It's a Christmas miracle. Ah, it's beautiful. So difficult to play Terran, so much skills. I mean, again, it came down to the initial move outs. If you recall, he was able to, I mean, we spoke about it, right? He reset everything except for the Super Famicom. Oh my god. It was crazy. The initial engage, even though Lancer didn't quite crumble then and there, it did kind of set the stage for Maru to maintain that lead, maintain that momentum, and just keep Lancer on the back foot. And we'll see if Lancer can recover here in Game 2. I'm going to be loading into Amygdala. I do appreciate it. Amygdala is a map that was not played at all during Elite League, as it was not in this month's or this week's map pool. So quite refreshing to see Amygdala once again. Is quite refreshing. And we'll see where our players take us. Here we go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the South Korean Terran. It is Maru for Team Vitality. In the bottom left, we have Lancer, the Chinese Protoss, looking to fight back, looking to tie the series up and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. So now we're going to be settling in. Unfortunately, no cams here for Maru. Unfortunate. He's doing his best Max Pax impression. He's got the pose going. I appreciate that at least. As once again, Maru is opening up double gas. Now, as a reminder, Lancer actually had a really strong start to game one. I hope to shed a little bit more light on it, but if you remember, Lancer did open up with a Stargate opener into Phoenixes. Maru opened up double gas into a double Widowmine drop, and the Widowmine drop got 0 damage. The Widowmines were completely shut down, the medevac as well. Lancer got a full scout to getting eyes on the follow-up. He was able to contain Maru for a long time as well. Like, it was not a bad start whatsoever out of Lancer. Just came down to the move out, just came down to the push, which, I mean, was quite brutal here, and Maru was able to utilize it quite well. So we'll see if Lancer can replicate his success early on, and this time have a bit of a stronger follow-up after denying the opener of his opponent. Now with this double gas into Factory, of course, into a delayed CC, but the CC should be on the horizon. Technically, this could be the setup for a one-base all-in into a starport, but Maru isn't really one to go into one-base all-ins, especially on a map like Amygdala, one of the more larger maps in the map pool, at least one of the larger rush distances, at least until the rocks get knocked down. So we should be seeing the expand. As there it is, CC on location. Meanwhile, across the map, Lancer once again going to be opening up Stargate. Now, we didn't mention it, how typically it is safer to open up Stargate on larger maps, like Abyssal Reef, like Game 1, which I was all for. Here on Amygdala as well, I am not too opposed to going for a Stargate opener either. As a probe scout gets shut down, and I believe Lancer's in the dark. Did get eyes on the CC timing, but not much more than that. So it's still not fully aware of what's going on. As we can see, once again, Widowmine production into Starport, into medevac, into drop play. Should be what comes next. As Reaper does attempt to dive in, but Last of SimCity is a little bit too good. Reaper is deflected. Phoenix production well underway. And we'll see how committed the mine drop is going to be this time. Last time it was only 2 Widowmines. This time Maru has the option to go for a mine drop with a marine support as well. We go. As I believe the medevac has arrived. And Maru is gearing up for that drop. There we go, is moving out across the map. Is once again going to be a double Widowmine drop, but this time the marines are moving out alongside it. Interesting. And we'll see if the marines come into play as well, or if they get left behind. Okay, marines also moving out. Medevac drop towards the left-hand side. Tank and lib production is underway. This actually looks like the same build. Not gonna lie. This looks like Maru's gearing up towards another 2-base push, and he's gonna be pulling the boys as well. Widowmine drop is going to be cleaned up. I'm getting so much deja vu. As the Widowmines, they do no damage. Medevac goes down as well. Very strong start for Lancer. With this, he can now move out and contain his opponents. And you can see that, again, Maru, he's building up that tank count, and he will soon move out once he gets his upgrades going. Speaking of, he actually hasn't begun any yet. And likewise, no Viking production either. Bearing in mind that Maru did not know it was a Stargate opener until he got across the map. And here come the Vikings. Meanwhile, Lancer getting 1, getting 2 SCVs. Very nice damage. Getting up to 3. Yeah, 3 SCVs going down. Again, for the Marines, they can't really do much here. Getting a 4th SCV. Maru actually going to be moving out across the map. Does move out towards the south side. 2 tanks and Marines, but he actually does pull back home. Doesn't commit. Kind of faking out his opponent. We can see that Lancer is actually going Phoenix Opener into Mass Charge Lots, going into Delayed Colossus. Okay. You have my attention. +1 in charge, no Bay yet. Liberator across the map, forcing a recall. It does force a recall back home. And again, this is the same setup that we saw previously. Oh, but with one big difference. Last time, Maru threw down extra axes and worked towards stim and combat shields. This time, if you notice, that is a third TC in production. Maru is going for a more macro build this time. Okay, he's macro. Let's go. He's not committing on 2 bases. So he's building up on 2, getting a third CC, working towards stim, working towards combat shields. Again, those upgrades have been delayed intentionally so here in favor of the command center. And that means that Maru's stuck at home, and that means that Lancer can freely tech. He's taking up, getting to +1 in charge. Working towards zone splash damage. And Lancer should get away with it, and there it is. This time it's not going to be Colossus, this time it is Storm. Here we go. Storm is on the horizon. Meanwhile, we do have a proxy across the map right outside the natural. Phoenix is towards the main. We'll see when they can get done. They will scout the command center. So he's now aware of the third TC, getting 3 SCVs, getting up to 4. 4 workers going down. Vikings, they do shut down at least one of those Phoenixes. The Lancer does reinforce. Building up his army. Storm is almost done. And once Storm finishes, I mean, I don't really see Maru moving out. I also want to emphasize that Lancer does not have to push in. I'm sure he feels tempted to. I understand the temptation. But ideally, he wants to just wait for Maru to move out into the open. To unsiege, to expose his own army. And then that's when Lancer can strike. Speaking of Maru, he moves out. Tanks to unsiege, and here comes Lancer. Yeah, tanks unsieging at the worst moment. Lancer does spot the main army. Storms, not quite connecting. They graze the army instead. And Phoenix is going to be going down, but the third base is denied. Oof, nice Storm. Softening up the bio. Softening up the bio army. Pushing further in towards the mineral line, trying to force some friendly fire as well. But again, Lancer does not have to push into this. Like, calm down. Calm down, Pappy, calm down. He denies the third, that's all he has to do. Oh, you can see the tank volley is going off on the High Templar. Army has to fall back. Lancer playing on the knife's edge here. As Mars once again getting in position, now expanding. Lancer slipping into the mineral line. And getting an SCV, getting 3. Lancer he rotates. Spots the rotation of Maru. Behind this, Lancer getting a 4th Nexus, and a 2nd Robo and a Bay. Into Colossi eventually. Until then, is he going to really push into this minefield? Wait, it's out of Widow Mine. There's still 5 more Widow Mines behind this. Zealous, they do slip into the natural. Very nice damage here by Lancer, pulling Maru apart. Getting 3 more SCVs. Again, Lancer playing with fire. He pulls away. Colossus production has begun. And Lancer, he doesn't like his chances here, so he does back off. And now we can take a moment here to kind of gauge the situation. Maru, he finally gets a 3rd. Meanwhile, Lancer's getting a 4th, getting saturated, embracing all of his upgrades. But it will still come down to the engagement. And we do see Lancer once again going for the backstab, going for the Storm Drop. 4 SCVs going down. Show up into the main. Does he have a recall? He should. It's not going to be enough. The EMP was brutal. There's the recall, but the Vikings should shut this down. That's 2 high tempo falling. Oh, that was a very expensive drop. A very expensive pickoff. 2 high tempo and a War Prism. He only killed 4 CVs. Main army moves out. At the same time, Zelce do strike the 3rd. Nice. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. Not bad. Here a little bit less so. But overall, some decent storms here from Lancer. 13 SCVs going down across the map. And Lancer, he can collapse on this army. Storm of the Vikings. Do we have a storm here for the main force? Oh, the EMPs are brutal. Oh, the EMPs! The EMPs do pop up. And the High Templar go down. Massive fight in favor of Maru. Those EMPs were insane. And as a result, there's only 1 storm. Despite having, what, 5, 6 High Templar. Only 1 storm available. EMPs were insane. And Maru, has he done it? Final drop coming in. Again, a decent storm, but decent is not good enough. As Lancer rallies everything across the map. Just going for the main army, going for the 4th. Nexus is going to fall. At the same time, we do see the Lancer is counterattacking. True. Does hit the 3rd base of Maru, denying mining. And again, Maru, his economy is in shambles. Economy could use some attention here. Lancer being active. Oh. They'll take an EMP to the face. Meanwhile, Storm's in the prism. Likewise, that's what the Vikings are for. Going to be zoning back the air army. Takes down the Colossus. Storm's coming in. Not bad. Yeah, Storms, they zone away. And Lancer is breaking out. He's breaking out of the army. Breaking out of the contain. Resets the Viking count. And GG gets caught. Oh my god, Lancer, he does hold on. He does take the fight. And Lancer ties up the series 1-1. Whew. GG. Mate, that was a big sigh of relief. GG, well played. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Again, Maru taking some very rough trades, some really rough fights, pushing in. Alas, he was taking some massive storms to the face. I was concerned that with the rebuilding of the Vikings that Maru would be able to break through and actually reset the Colossus count. But alas, Maru was unable to. And Maru was essentially all in. Just to wind it back, if you remember, 13 SCVs went down to the Zealot run by. Lancer, he was crippling the economy time and time again. Non-stop Zealot run bys towards that 3rd base did make sure that Maru did not have the economy he needed to keep going. To keep things going. GG. With that, we're going all the way to game 3. Again, very intense game 2 here, but once again, what I will say, and what was even better here, was the early game. Lancer, he was able to shut down the drop play, shut down the initial move out as well. Lancer was able to contain his opponent. If you remember, he was able to delay the 3rd base for a very long time. Thankfully, Lancer did not overcommit. If you remember, we were talking about how, like, Lancer, we don't have to push into the natural, we don't have to keep going, and he didn't, right? He played it safe, delayed the 3rd base, got a 4th, just calm things down, and Lancer takes it in the end. And there is a world out here where Lancer can even take the series itself. We'll see if he can. Up next, we're going to be loading into Ley Lines. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have Maru for Team Vitality. And in the bottom left, we have Lancer. Let's just hide up the series. Can he bring Maru down? Again, if you are unfamiliar with Lancer, if you don't watch much CranKy Ducklings, if you don't watch World Team League, then maybe you'd be unfamiliar, but Lancer, he does pop off very often, especially in WTL. He was arguably the ace player of his team, and he was a player that could be relied upon to take down some of these big names, like your Clems, like your Marus, in at least a best of 2 format. Here in the best of 3 format, it is different. It is a lot more intense, of course, and less room for error, and is a lot more cutthroat as well. So we'll see how our players do adjust. So far, Maru coming in with the eBay block, going for a single gas opener. will delay the expansion of Lancer. So very nicely done. Lancer forced to pull a couple of boys to zone away that SCV. And with that, it is going to be a nice start here for Maru. Just delaying the expansion of his opponents while he takes his own. Which we should be soon seeing. As there it is, CC on location for Maru. Likewise, Lancer taking his own base as well. Now, every game so far, Lancer has gone for a Stargate opener, and I did approve of it on both Amygdala and Abyssal Reef. Here on a smaller map like Leylines, I feel like it is risky to open Stargate, and we should be seeing something like a Twilight Council opener or a Robo opener. So we'll keep an eye on Lancer for the tech of choice. We'll keep an eye on him. As the initial probe gets shut down. And yep, there's the tech, Twilight Council. Again, this makes sense. The reason why it is unsafe to go for a Stargate here on Leylines is because of the rush distance by ground. It's just a smaller map. It's just a smaller map. It is much easier for the Terran player to punish something like a Stargate opener. Stargate openers can be very vulnerable against all-ins. I mean, we already saw some of that in Game 1. So we can see that Lancer is playing it safe with Blink. Or at least this should be Blink. Technically, this could be like a DT opener if Lancer was crazy. And sometimes he can be crazy. So we'll see. We shall see. As Reaper dips into the main and gets a probe. Worker so far. Likewise, extra gateways, robos on the way as well. Just a bit of a give and take here early on, nothing too major yet. As a reminder, Maru did go for a faster CC this game, so as a result, his draw play is going to be a little bit more delayed. He is still going to be going for the drop. So far, Lancer's been doing an amazing job at just shutting down the drops and maintaining himself, but that also was with a Stargate opener instead, and oh, okay, so this time is going to be a less committed Widowmine drop. It's going to be one Widowmine and one Medevac into Tank Banshee. Tank production, Banshee production, and Cloak is on the way for Maru, a very aggressive follow-up. Very committed on 2 bases. Meanwhile, Lancer is in position here at the natural. Stalkers are ready. And they don't quite get the medevac. Oh no! Oh my god. Whew. That was a very close mine shot. Alas, one Stalker goes down. Medevac gets chased down as well. Very nice cleanup here by Lancer. Does shut down the medevac, but I believe the Widowmine does scuttle away. He be scuttling. Does attempt to scuttle away, but does get shut down. Nice cleanup here at Lancer. Here comes that follow-up Banshee play. And I'm not so certain that Lancer actually scouted this. Does have the Observer in position. Again, it is not uncommon to open up at Cloak Banshee in this matchup, in this meta. Ooh, did see the researching tech lab, and with that, he should be able to, he should piece it together. Should be aware that that was a Stargate. Sorry, Starport. Observer's ready, but no Stalkers. Uh-oh. Yeah, Stalker's not quite ready. Not in position. Instead, a Lancer across the map. Blinking into the main. He has high ground vision. He does have high ground vision. He does have control of the main. The Banshee tries to defend, but there's detection. Yo, and Maru, he's in a bit of trouble here. Banshee goes down. Nice snipe on the Banshee, but there are 3 tanks. Lancer getting a couple of SCVs, getting 5 worker kills, and blinks away. Does blink away. Again, delaying any kind of aggression from Maru. Maru throwing down extra Raxes. Oh, it does feel like a 5 rack setup on 2 bases. Does look like the beginning of a 2-ace all-in setup here from Maru. And we'll see if he commits. We'll see if Maru commits on 2 bases. Meanwhile, Lancer just saturating his 3rd base, getting into charge. No Colossus. Huh? Going into Storm again, though. Is taking towards Storm. Just needs a little bit more time. Speaking of, I don't think Maru's really going to commit anytime soon. What I mean by that, you can see the upgrades here. Stim, Combat Shields, and +1. Maru most likely should be waiting for those upgrades before committing across the map. So Lancer, he does have a little bit of time. Storm has begun. You can see Lancer in position to delay the move outs. Likewise, also in position to punish and dropping into the main. And Lancer, he can take this, depending on the execution. You can see the army get spotted. Maru he on sieges. And again, as Maru moves out, Lancer can move in. As tanks are slowly pushing forward. Tank shot goes off. The rest of the tanks in position. And Maru, Lancer's not going for it yet. Scans back at home, spots a High Templar. Maru, he does break out, and now it's go time! Yeah, Lancer, you can see him activate that prism, dives into the main, SCVs are going to go down, and Maru's all in. Maru, he's completely all... He turns around! Oh, does turn back around. These cells are buying a lot of time, and remember, Maru is all in. Every second counts. Storm is now done. Lancer's trying to get eyes on the main army. He's at least trying to. There's a scan ahead of time. Zelt's back into the main. But even if all these SCVs go down, it's not about that. It's about the main fight. Tanks are sieging up within range of the expansion. Oh yeah, Lancer late to try to engage. More SCV kills. First High Templar does not go down. Does catch out the shield batteries. Likewise, Lancer just has to slow things down a little bit here. Taking the forward expansion. Or the northern expansion. Once again trying to set up a counterattack. Nexus goes down. As they'll say, we'll find some Marines and some Marauders. Not bad. The Warpins, they do continue in the main. Likewise, Lancer diving in. Does not get the tank. Oof, barely not. But he's so close. He's so close to breaking Maru. Takes down the Gas Geyser. Once again rallying in. Nothing back at home. Tanks are exposed. He gets one. Oh my god, the tank shots though. Tank boy is going off. Nice storms on the arm. Oh my god, the storms are crazy. And Maru's running out of steam. Yeah, workers are going down left and right. Maru, he's completely all in. It's all or nothing for the blue Terran. And I'm not so sure Maru has enough. Oh my god, yeah, the storms are still brutal. And that is all that Lancer needs. More storms. 23 SCV is going to be going down. And now Lancer forced to engage. Getting on top of the tanks. And tanks are going down. Massive storms on the army. Oh my god, the stacking storms. GG gets caught, and Lancer, he pops off. He takes down Maru 2-1. And already the upsets, they have begun. GG. Este Lancer, papi. Oh my god. GG, well played. Again, specifically, I want to praise Lancer's early game. I want to praise his early game here in every single game, actually, to be able to shut down the initial drop play, to be able to shut down the initial aggression, and likewise to be able to gain map control early on as well. So very nicely done here by Lancer. He does shut Maru down. And with that, Maru, things are looking a little bit bleak for him. Now, I did predict Hero and Gumiho to make it out of the group. I did make that prediction when I was predicting with Yaku. I think Yaku went Maru and Hero. He may have actually gone for like a wild card like Lancer Call. I don't quite remember that. But yeah, like this is definitely something that should not have happened though. Like despite even me assuming that Gumiho and Hero would advance on instead, Maru is still a very, very potent, very powerful player, and for him to go down to Lancer, I mean, that does not bode well for Maru for his chances to make it out of the group. Oh boy. And with that, we're now going to be getting ready for our next matchup. Up next is going to be Lancer's next series. Lancer going up against the best Protoss in South Korea. It's going to be Lancer versus Hero in a best of 3. Until then, take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, get some rest, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes here with our next PvP. See you soon. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon.